So, here on Matter of Opinion, we've been covering Shanquella Robinson's tragic story. We heard the side of the autopsy report, what happened with the doctor. We heard about the things with the arrest from Geraldo, but we didn't actually sit down and hear the mother's perspective. Salamandra Robinson. She recently had an interview with Nightline, and we're going to do a walkthrough of this video and also interject and give our perspectives on the things that she is saying. So sit back, relax. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell so you can be updated on more content like this. With that being said, let's talk about it.
It's a matter of opinion. If I'm right, but I'm leaving no for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on our part.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Matter of Opinion. I'm your boy Walls P.
I'm your girl, Erica.
So, another update on Shanquella Robinson. And we told you guys, whatever information comes out, we're going to stay on top of it and present it to you guys, the viewers. So, without holding you guys up, let's do this video walkthrough of Salamandra Robinson giving her perspective and her point of view on the events that happened when she lost her daughter, her loved one, Shanquella Robinson.
Salamandra says she got a worrying call from one of the friends who told her Shanquella wasn't feeling well.
And I said, well, what's wrong with her? And he said, alcohol poisoning. I didn't know what alcohol poisoning was. But he said, the doctor is on the way. And I said, well, how you know alcohol poisoning if the doctor haven't arrived yet?
Now, I was thinking to myself, if she have alcohol poisoning, why would she need medical attention? But it is recommended. If a person is suffering from alcohol poisoning, they say immediate medical attention is what's best. So that's just something that I want you viewers to know. Alcohol poisoning is a logical reason to seek medical attention.
According to the police report, the doctor recommended that Shanquella be taken to the hospital, but the friends allegedly refused.
And I said, well, why you can't take her to the hospital? Take her to the hospital. And he said, well, they say you have to have cash money. I said, well, she has insurance. And he said, well, she need about $5,000 to be seen in the emergency room. They said that she was responsible and the ambulance was trying to resuscitate her.
So that is actually a common practice. If you travel out of the country, a lot of times for them to see tourists, they want you to pay exuberant amounts of money up front to be seen. There's also people that usually charge exuberant amounts of money just to even get you over to the local hospital. Because think about it, when you're in another country, a lot of times your US insurance may or may not work. So they want to guarantee that they get some kind of payment for their services.
The part that gets me though is that you had an exact number of saying $5,000. Now, let's look at it from this perspective because I understand that is basically Mexico trying to extort US visitors from the US. They try and basically extort them and charge them more than the normal amount for certain services. But even with that being said, when people want certain surgeries and stuff to be done, like getting their prescriptions and stuff for that nature, they hop over to Mexico if they live close to the Mexican border because it's cheaper. So 5K, maybe, but I see that as a stretch. Me personally, when I hear that, I'm thinking you're probably needing that money to pay somebody off, which could have been the police, the doctor, or whoever it is to cover your traces for this heinous crime. What is your thoughts on that?
I'm thinking about the same because, yes, do I expect a hospital to want upfront money? Of course. But when it's in that excess, I feel like it's almost hush money.
And don't forget, it's also reported that they stole $10,000 from Shanquella Robinson. And it's also alleged that when Shanquella Robinson was murdered, these fake friends used her card to live their best life celebrating the birthday that they went out to Mexico to celebrate.
He said he was sorry that Shanquella had passed.
He said it just like that.
Just like that. He wasn't even emotion upset or nothing about it. And I say, well, it was nothing I could do. It's just my heart just crumbled, because I couldn't even get to my child. She 2,000 miles away.
So just think about that for a second. Your quote unquote best friend died. You're speaking to this best friend that died's mother, and you're just very laissez faire about saying, hey, this person passed away. No emotions, no nothing. I don't know about you, but if someone close to me die or pass, and I'm explaining this to their mother or someone close to them, I'm hysterically like on pretty much borderline of almost in damn near tears or in tears. So for him to have like no emotions, like kind of like the Undertaker or something, you know how the Undertaker had no emotions as a character. When she says this, that's pretty much how I'm looking at how this man delivered this message.
You know what? You might be right because if anything happens to a family member or a close friend, you should be distraught. You should be holding back tears. You should have some kind of emotion. You're either going to be angry or you're going to be sad. There's no in between. The blank stares, the emotionless usually doesn't happen when it just happened. You usually have to go through them stages of grief to get you through and to be comforted. If you came in blank, your hot sweats, that means you're almost hiding something.
And here's the thing, she's going to say something later in this interview that's going to even point out why his lack of emotions was a telltale sign or a red flag. Let's continue.
I got a call from somebody, I didn't even know who it was, and they said that they was over there fighting that girl. And that's the way they left it, just like that.
So someone just called you, said that, and then hung up?
And hung up. Say they was over there fighting. I don't know why they keep talking about alcohol poison.
All right. So there's no information about this. There's no reports or anything like that. But I'm asking you, do you think that the person that called her anonymously could have been one of the so-called friends?
It could have been one of two things. It either could have been somebody that was in the room or somebody in the room talked to somebody else and reached out to the mother.
Yeah, they were FaceTiming. So
So that's the only way that information would have gotten out. You would have had to be there. So you got firsthand knowledge of it, or you had to have been on the phone and you saw it or heard about it for you to be able to do it.
that's a fair point. Let's continue.
They was crying and say they never had a fight. They even sit here and say they was picking out what they was wearing to the funeral. They sit down here and we was talking about what colors we was gonna wear and what we was gonna do, and they sit here and say pick out what they was wearing to the funeral.
I want you guys to think about this. You're a parent. Your child was pretty much murdered by her so-called friends that she went on vacation with. You know they lied about why or a event that happened because they showed up to Salamandra's doorstep crying and now picking out the clothes that they're going to wear for the funeral. You already know that there's some type of a lie in the story that they're giving because somebody called you anonymously and said that they were fighting on her and then hung up the phone. That you got to be a very sick and twisted individual to lie in a person's face whose child you killed and then masquerade and put up this front that you actually care. And this is how these criminals or criminal minds work. You want to be close to the source to figure out how much information they know. So this wasn't to actually show they care about Shanquella Robinson's death or they care for the family. This was a ploy to actually stay close and see how much information does the Robinson family know. Now, this is my opinion. It's not fact or anything. This is my opinion, how I look at the situation and my own assessment. Let's continue.
And they called me and the autopsy came back. It all made sense.
She confronted one of the friends who lived nearby.
They say Shanquella didn't die from no alcohol poison. They say she had been beating her neck. He broke out in a sweat and he came out of his shirt. He was sweating so bad. It's like it was eating him up.
Now, this goes back to what I said earlier. It's funny how when he called on the phone, he didn't show no emotion saying that Shanquella passed. But now that she questioned him when she saw the video, now all of a sudden you're showing all the emotion in the world, taking off your shirt, sweating profusely. That's the signs, ladies and gentlemen, of a guilty party. You know you did wrong. You know you tried to cover up your actions. You know this was premeditated. You even showed up with the alleged two people who are in connections with the death of Shanquella Robinson, and y'all all shedding tears in the whole nine. But yet, when you called to tell Shanquella Robinson's mother that she passed, or that she was murdered, or that she died, you showed no emotion.
I felt like they had to keep with their cover story. That's the only way they would have known what all information was coming out if they stayed close to the mother or the sister, because you have to be somebody who's going to be privy to the information coming out. But yes, I do not feel like they were being honest. And because of them not being honest, that guy's body showed it. You were being dishonest, and the truth always comes out.
Here's the funny thing about that. Why would you still play close to the family if you're trying to see how much they know? And this same family who wasn't away with you guys in Mexico heard that you guys basically jumped on Shanquilla Robinson. So if she wasn't in Mexico and she heard this, that should let you know only in due time the truth and the facts are going to come out. So these got to be the most dumbest criminals that I've ever witnessed in my life. There's probably more that are dumber, but these are the dumbest friends. For them to have six minds working together, dumb as hell, and not thinking they're going to get caught for their actions.
Cell phone footage leaked online appearing to show Shanquilla naked, physically assaulted by another woman, while others appeared to watch on, even encourage it.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
What for you does justice look like for Shanquella?
For them to go back to Mexico and do their 20, 30, 40 years, whatever they give them. They need to pay for what they did to her. I hurt, but I also know that God don't make no mistakes. My heart gonna hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a while. But I know God gonna give me strength to get through it.
So there you have it. There's the mother's perspective on the things that happened when she found out that she lost her daughter to these six demons. Now, here's my assessment on everything as a whole. Do I believe that they planned this? No, I don't believe that they planned it. They probably planned to rob her, but as far as the beating went, I believed they wanted to humiliate Shanquilla Robinson. And the reason why I say they wanted to humiliate her is because somebody was FaceTiming when this woman attacked Shanquilla Robinson. So that means you wanted to humiliate her. I hold every single one of them accountable, like the mother said, and they all need to go to jail and suffer maximum penalty, like I said before. Because I was thinking, okay, now that we have more information on this, let me dissect it and see if they all should be equally held accountable. And the more information that comes out, the more it solidifies that every single one of them should be held accountable. What's your assessment?
The same. I want everybody held accountable. I want them to not get away with what they did. I want them to know this is not okay. And lying about it didn't make it any different.
Agreed. We both agree. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Let us know what you think in the comment section. We would love to hear your take on this matter. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss future content like this. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. With that being said, I'm your boy Walls P,
I'm your girl, Erica.
and we will catch you, ladies and gentlemen, on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.